Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. I'm in the middle of a build on a Jaguar. It's a 2003 S-Type R. And I'm at the point right now where I've done the timing chains on the car. And I'm kind of a little bit confused about something. Maybe I can get some help from the community. Um, I had this motor rebuilt by a speed shop. And I installed the timing chains. What I did was I put the locks on the cams to lock the heads in place. And then there's also a key on the bottom that goes into the crankcase that locks the crank in the 6 o'clock position on the crank, the bolt right there. My problem, and I don't know if it's a problem or if it's normal, but when I take the keys out and I spin the motor around, which spins nice and smooth, and I get the heads back to where they're supposed to be, the key and the crank is just a smidge off. It's not really like, I can't slip it in. It's just a little bit off. So what I have to do is I actually have to go back the other way with the crank, and the key will fit in. And I did it twice, and twice the same thing happened. And I don't know, if it's acceptable or if it's just that much play in the motor, but all the chains are tight. The pushers are engaged. We used a special tool to crank down on the sprocket to tighten up the side of the chain that was necessary to keep tension on. So I did everything I was supposed to do, and I did it 2 times. The first time I did it, I got nervous and I said, you know what, let me try it again. So I went and bought more bolts, because these are only one-time use bolts. Once you torque them, you gotta toss them and get new bolts. So I'm wondering, is this normal? Is there normal to have just a slight variation or play after setting everything, or after I turn the motor, am I supposed to be able to slip everything back on and everything fits perfectly where I left off? When I took everything apart. I can't do anything any further from here. As you see, I got the transmission finished. So I don't want to do anything more until I can figure this out and make sure that this is correct. Because once it's correct, I could put the cover on, I could mount the tranny and the torque converter, and then I could swing it back into the car. Which I redid all the wiring. It's basically ready. It's ready to be put back together. I have this thing where I can get it up off the ground far enough where I'll be able to, get enough play in it to get the motor and the transmission back in one piece, and put the cross member back on the car. But if there's anybody have any experience with these motors, because I think there's a 4.6 Ford that's pretty similar to this, and maybe somebody could give me some advice on what to do, or maybe I did do it right, and it's the little bit of variation is acceptable, and the computer, being that each cam has its own sensor, the computer will read the position of the sensor in the crank, and automatically time everything through the ECU. Any chance you can give me, I would really appreciate it. I mean, I don't know, I'm kind of stuck. I don't have anybody to really give me any advice on this, and none of the mechanics want to fuck with this, so I'm pretty much on my own here. So I spent a lot of money on this, and I want to make sure that the timing is correct. And when I put it back in the car, I plug all the plugs in, and I start it. It should start right up, and it should run really well. I had everything, new pistons, rings, all the internals. The heads were done. It was done by a pretty reputable speed shop, so I'm almost certain they did a really good job on everything. Everything's been put back correctly. So anybody give me any help, I would really appreciate it. Thank you.